Alright, I'm back with another Destiny video after yesterday's reset, which kicked off Season of the Hunt. Technically, it's tied to Beyond Light, but unlike past seasons with expansions, like Undying, this is a sold separately thing, so you have to pay $10 for it, and I think it's not included in Game Pass on Xbox, so everyone's got to purchase it separately if you want to pick it up and participate in the seasonal activity, which are these sort of very Monster Hunter light hunts of corrupted, fallen Hive and Cabal enemies. So we got the kickoff quest for it yesterday, and we dove straight into these Wrathborn Hunts. I've been calling them Wrathborn Hunts because I read it wrong and thought there was an I in there. There is not. So we got our first look at that, some of the new loot, some of the mechanics behind this, and while I think this is going to evolve to a certain extent as the season goes on, we can at least do kind of first impressions here now to see, what we make of it. I really liked the intro quest. I think they have a lot of voice work going on. They have Osiris, they have Crow, they have Spider, and then they have Crow's ghost, Glint, who I guess they didn't want to call him pulled pork permanently. I sort of wish they had somehow managed to keep Uldren's return a surprise, but I know it would have been data mined. I don't know. I just don't know if they needed to show him off in the Vidoc. I think they could have just somehow figured this out with just Spider and Osiris without kind of ruining Uldren's return, but I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to cry about it too much, even though I was desperately wrong that I thought Shahan was going to be revealed to be Uldren, and that did not pan out. But he's back. I'm going to go into spoilers for at least the intro quest here, and it takes like 40 minutes to do the intro stuff, so if you haven't done any of that, I guess don't watch this yet, but there's not like a whole lot going on. One very important piece of information before this is kind of buried in lore that Destiny released or Bungie released, and you had to go to, if you wanted to experience it in-game to some extent, you had to go to Zavala's office and play about 12 different messages that Osiris left on Zavala's voicemail, for lack of a better term, where all in all what happened is Osiris is investigating some new weird corruptive thing going on with the Hive and discovers that it has to do with Xivu Arath, who is like kind of making Cabal and Fallen like frenzied with some sort of weird Hive object thing, because that's what weird Hive objects do. Osiris, I think this was on the moon, he finds a bunch of Hive nobles, he murders them all, but this turns out it was kind of a trap set by Xivu Arath, and she's about to kill him. Segura, his ghost, decides to detonate herself to blow everything up instead of have Osiris die, which is very sad. I'm kind of sad that this happened off screen and like we didn't get a cutscene for this. It's like, I understand this from story development, but this also feels like, well, Miranda Baccarin, the voice actress who is also a Firefly star and in Gotham and a whole bunch of things, it's probably too expensive to ever bring back as Segura again, so we're blowing up Segura, and kind of a bummer, but we've gone through this with a number of Destiny characters where they've been recast from more kind of movie, TV star people to voice actors that are more readily available to do kind of ongoing work, which I think is good for the narrative of the game, but it does result in either voice castings or just killing people off, which is not ideal. So anyway, so now this has attracted the attention of Spider because these things are plopping down in the Tangled Shore, and we figure out that Spider is the one who kind of stumbled upon Uldren after he was resurrected as a guardian with no memory, and now he is essentially in indentured servitude to Spider, where his ghost will blow up if he like goes too far away from Spider. I don't know if he's not allowed to leave the Tangled Shore at all or what the deal is there. So that's kind of sad. And like there's some really weird, like good but weird story stuff where Uldren's like, hey, I was told I knew the Guardians in the last tower. He's like, I don't remember you. Like, how's it going? I'm like, definitely didn't shoot you in the face last time I saw you. Don't worry about it. I'm wondering if the end result of the storyline is going to be sort of freeing Uldren from Spider's grasp. Probably we're not going to like kill Spider or anything that severe, but I don't know. We'll make a deal and buy his freedom with Glimmer enhancement cores or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know if this is leading to Aldrin being the new Hunter Vanguard or not, or all that stuff. So we'll see what happens there. But so far, I think the story stuff has been very strong. We know there was more story stuff coming. We saw in at least one of the trailers, there's like a scene with Zavala and Osiris talking to Cabal. So this seems like more of an ongoing development that will happen in time. I don't know how long it will take to get new kind of story stuff related to this. I doubt that's going to be weekly. I'm sure it's going to be spread out. And then we actually have the meat of the content, which is not that meaty, I would say. Wrathborn Hunts were supposed to be, or they were pitched as public events. Everyone's like, oh no, another public event. They're not public events. Like, you start them in public, and other people can help you, like, 90% kill the first, whatever corrupted thing you're trying to kill before it runs away. And then it turns into this little monster hunter chase where you have to track green goo on the floor. Like, I thought it was broken at first, because, like, Destiny has never had something like this where it's like you have to use context clues to figure out where to go next. There's always like the little indicator in the corner of the screen that tells you where to go. That is not the case here. So I was like very confused at first until I discovered that we literally have to trail these things. It's usually you just go like one zone over, or sometimes in the Dreaming City you don't even go that far. And then it starts this like little, very little mini instance that is essentially just a boss fight. And if you do tier 1 Wrathborn Hunts, they're like 1150, and like I could kill these bosses in like 5 or 6 fusion rifle shots. Like they're very weak. And then I think they go up to 1220 if you like slot higher end mods in the last slot of your little lure thing. The lure is used to kind of make custom rolls. Like you get to pick one of 4 different things you can farm for at any given time. I think they're randomized. This is one aspect that's weird, because you can't really target farm what you want, because the slate of options they give you seem, at least right now, they seem pretty random. So like, okay, I want, the new SMG or something. Like, who knows the next time that's going to come up in rotation, so you have to keep running Wrathborn Hunts until they show up. The other catch with Wrathborn Hunts is that you can't just run them endlessly. You have to be doing like other playlist activities to build up charges for them, which is usually just kind of 1 strike or 1 gambit match equals 1 powered up lure thing, and then you can go do one. I don't know if I love this. Like, this reminds me of the Haunted Forest thing, where like you have to like run other activities to do the thing you actually want to do. I think this is just so you can kind of like spread out your time, and like instead of maybe doing your 3 strikes in a row for your pinnacle, like you do 1 strike, then you go do a Wrathborn Hunt, and you come back. Like, it does diversify gameplay a little more. Just the actual content of the Wrathborn Hunts are so minimal. Like, Seasoning and Dying had the Vex Forest thing. I can't even remember what it was called, but that was like a match-made activity in these different sections. There was a boss. This is literally like a nightmare boss fight without even the rest of the nightmare part of it. It's just very, very basic, and if it doesn't get harder than 1220, like it's almost kind of an insta-melt situation in most circumstances, which is kind of weird. I'm slowly I've already upgraded like 4 out of the 6 nodes for the lure, and then you can get some more, like it's a lot of powerful drops. It's 4 powerful drops plus a pinnacle if you do 5 of these in a week. So you want to farm these just for power, but it's kind of weird. The loot pool seems okay. I'm not sure how many total guns there are. I think maybe there's 4, like 4 or 5. There is a new wave frame grenade launcher, which is very cool. You can get it with what's it called? Overflow, I think. Whatever the one is where you kill a bunch of things in a row and then you get more ammo as a result of that. That's cool because you can slot it with multiple shots, and everybody loves those wave frame grenade launchers. And who knows when there's going to be some new mod that requires you to do void splash damage or something. And it's just cool to have the little purple line of flame erupt on the ground, and I like that a lot. The SMG is solid. I like it. I think there's better SMG options, but we'll see. The new Scout I've not gotten a good roll on yet, so I can't really comment on that. And the new grenade launcher does not seem as good as the other new grenade launcher from Gambit. And then the Wild Hunt armor set is good, but it's also in the season pass, and the high roll, high stat drops of it are also in the season pass. So I don't really know per se why you'd farm for that armor. I've done the upgrade that like lets you get higher than average stats on the armor, and I was getting like 58s or something. So it's not. This doesn't really seem like the best avenue to farm that kind of stuff. So I'm probably just going to keep going for gun rolls as I do these. I don't know. Like it does seem pretty minimal for now. Like is it worth $10? Sure. For me, definitely worth $10 easily, not a problem. But it doesn't seem that substantive. Like there seems to be more story component than there is like actual gameplay, just because these are one-off boss fights that are, at least right now, extremely easy. So maybe there's going to be like tier 3 hunts that come later that are more involved or harder, get better rewards, something like that. But at least in the initial setup here, this is not very difficult at all, and not nearly on the same level as other seasonal activities we've seen in the past. So I understand why people are saying that aspect of it is light. That said, I love all the story stuff. I think it's great. I think that aspect is certainly better than most of the seasonal content we've gotten to date, even this early. So that's been fun. There's more stuff to come. I wrote an article today about how, without getting into spoilers, the raid will unlock more content. Most of that's probably going to be Beyond Light related, but we also know that something like the Hawkmoon quest is tied to Season of the Hunt stuff. So that's going to come later. Again, we have cutscenes we haven't seen yet. So there's still a lot to go through. I don't not like, the activities or the loot. It's just not terribly substantive, especially compared to, if you're comparing it to the larger expansion, it's a fraction of it. So I don't know. I hope it evolves more in time, and we'll see how it goes. But those are my thoughts for now. And yeah, I'm going to be tuning in to the raid race in a few days here. I will not be participating, because that's not something I ever do. So I'm really just going to watch it on Twitch and cover it, and then see what is unlocked afterwards. So if you're not running the raid race, definitely you might still want to be playing the game, because it seems like something may happen similar to whatever, Dreaming City stuff that happened with Last Wish, because I think they realized everyone liked that. So yeah, we'll see what happens then. We'll see if there's anything else to talk about before then, but that might be the next thing I cover. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time.